I'm an idiot. Just a plain old idiot. I tried to do some funny joke intro that I thought was being so clever, so funny. I'm hilarious. And I didn't even unmute myself. So hi guys, how are you? I'm alright, other than being an idiot. I'm gonna work on some art today. What else do I ever do? So what we're working on is, I don't know how many of you guys are a fan of the podcast The Adventure Zone. So actually, let's take a step back. So every month, my silver tier patrons, they get to suggest a character for me to draw. I basically make a list of them, of all the suggestions, and then I roll a dice. And all the characters have like a designated number. And maybe I shouldn't stream today. I'm just totally messing up. Anyway, so every character has their own number assigned to them. I roll the dice. Whatever number pops up, I draw that character. Hey, Sideways! Welcome. So when I rolled the dice, I had a lot of good suggestions this month. I had my character War Angel cosplaying Witchblade. I had a Mobile Suit Gundam version of Harley Quinn. I had what else did I have come in? I gotta look at my list. I had Spike from Cowboy Bebop. I had Steelheart from. I don't know how many of you guys remember the old 80s, early 90s animated, I think it was late 80s, cartoon called Silverhawks. Is by the same animation studio that did Thundercats, and a lot of the same voice actors did Silverhawks. Anyway, I am just way off track today. The winner was Magnus Burnsides from The Adventure Zone. So as you can see, I already have a sketch. I already penciled him out here. That's what we're going to work on today. So if you haven't listened to The Adventure Zone, I'm going to talk as I draw here. It's three brothers and their dad playing Dungeons and Dragons together. And it's amazing. One brother plays a wizard elf. The father plays a dwarf cleric. And the character, another brother, plays this human fighter. And then the youngest brother is the DM. And it's a very, very good podcast. It's a lot of people compare it to hey, Sideways knows Silverhawks. Man, I love that show. I didn't think anyone else watched it. So yeah. So as I was saying, a lot of people compare Adventure Zone to Critical Role, but they are very different animals. If you go into one expecting the other, you are going to be disappointed. This Adventure Zone is very dramatic, very well voice acted. where the Adventure Zone is definitely, though there are moments that made me cry, like legitly cried, it is definitely more of a joke and comedy show than a serious drama. Broadcasting all right? Looks like I'm all right. All right. So that is what I am drawing now. Good boy, Magnus Burnsides. So, hold on a sec, guys. You might hear a little bit of an echo for a sec here. It just kind of seems like something's a little wonky. Just gonna make sure I'm broadcasting all right. All right, yeah. Seems like I'm all right. So it's anyway. So I know I started kind of streaming at an awkward time here. 6 o'clock, I'm sure a lot of people... Hey, now my alarm's going off. Man, this stream is just a mess today. What am I doing? What am I even doing? Got alarms going off. I got random phone calls coming in. Jeez. Alright, let's get back on track here. This is ludicrous. This is just... further demonstrate, I've had these earbuds in my head and I don't have any music playing on them. Alright. Got music playing. Now I know why everyone comes and watches. It's because of all my professionalism. With random phone calls. And me just stopping to put on music. I am just the most professional. Thanks for taking time for a bonus Friday stream. Well, I'll be honest, I've been sucking at my streaming. I haven't been streaming on Tuesdays. I didn't stream yesterday. So I kind of suck in that department lately. So I figured I have a little extra time today. So let's get it done. It's pretty hard to build an audience if I'm never streaming. Thank you for coming on an kind of an impromptu. Could have easily been like, that's not his normal day. I'm gonna wait for his normal days. I'm gonna give Magnus a little bit of grit to his face here. Now, since this is for patrons, I usually, it's even more technically, it's a sketch for patrons. So I always kind of define sketch as whatever I think the art needs. So sometimes that might be just like a pencil drawing. Sometimes I might feel experimental and try different things, different techniques, different tools. I qualify all that as a sketch because I kind of want to keep it open-ended. I don't want to pigeonhole myself. If someone asks for a character and I think it would look better in black and white, I don't want to have to force myself to do a color drawing because I promised a color drawing. So I say sketch because so I can allow myself the freedom to draw whatever I feel like is appropriate for the character chosen. So with that said, what I'm thinking I'm going to do with Magnus here is give him the black and white treatment, just a lot of great line art here, and then very, very light color washes, nothing too detailed or too rendered. I know you guys want to watch me scratch my eye here. And then maybe give kind of a texture treatment to it, as if this is drawn on some like old parchment or something like that. At least that's the idea. We'll see where I get with it. Another phone call. Jeez. You'd think all the spammers would have gone home already. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I usually don't get spam calls outside of business hours. Maybe I'm just been lucky. Trim him off a little bit here. I don't think he looks like he's smiling like I want him to. It's important that he has a big old gray. There we go. Much better. Yeah. Alright. So I know it's 6 o'clock on a Friday, or at least here in the Eastern time zone it is. You guys have any plans for the evening? Any hot dates? Or are you guys going to be charitable and spend your evening with me? So for those of you who have watched The Adventure Zone, I keep saying watch. It's not something you can watch. It's something you can listen to, and something you can read. There's a comic book now, but you cannot watch it. So I don't know why I keep saying that. I always imagine Magnus being a rather burly guy here. Give him some chest hair. You know what I forgot to do? I always forget to do this. Whenever I go live, I always forget to tell my Instagram followers that I'm streaming. You guys won't mind if I take a short break to do a post, will ya? Or look at Magnus's handsome face while I do that. I always have a tough time with the text. Tough time with text. Alright, that was exciting to watch, I bet. Alright. Man, this has been probably, if I had to say, hey, Random Art Dude, welcome. Welcome to probably my worst stream ever. Da, 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 da. I mean, more, not worst stream as in like anything's going bad, but more worst stream as in this is probably the most unprofessional production I've ever done. People like to, or do an Instagram post, live on stream, and getting phone calls, spam calls, getting weird. It's just, man. No. I'm surprised I have any followers with this level of professionalism. Same here. So what are you up to this Friday? Just hanging out on Twitch? This goes for anyone watching. Work on your webtoon? What webtoon do you do? Oh, sweet. Do you want a link to it in the chat? I have a, well, you might already know, I have a webtoon too, the Shadows of Oblivion's on Webtoons. But I always look for, I always want to follow fellow independent creators. Oh, you read mine? No, you're too kind, thank you. If you don't feel comfortable linking yours in the chat, that's okay too. Just let me know what the name of it is so I can follow you a little bit later when I'm done. I say follow, but, subscribe to the comic. I'm gonna go do that right now. How not to be a hero. I like it. And subscribe. I'll have to read this in later, but I like your the nice crisp line art and the bright colors. I'm a fan. Can't wait to read that later. Sweet. Oh, is that? I thought it was just for the cover. I thought you just picked a different style there, but it's a resolution thing. Mind the bad grammar. We should try to do, if you can, is find a friend of yours to act as an editor for you. Even if they're not like professionally trained or that sort of thing, like just running it by someone that might catch grammar errors or just general errors is man, it's a lifesaver. My first few self-published comics, I didn't have that, and man, I couldn't even spell the main characters right. Sometimes I spelled it with an E, sometimes with an O, and getting a friend to edit it for me saved on so many silly mistakes that I shouldn't have been making. Do that sometimes, yeah. You would think because you're creating the comic and you're writing it, you wouldn't get such simple things like the main characters' names wrong, but we do. I mean, when you're doing everything, you're gonna mess up somewhere. If you're writing and drawing and editing and doing the graphic design and publishing and distributing, and that was a weird way to say that word, and doing the social media and the promoting and marketing, you're gonna make mistakes somewhere, so why not be the main? If the worst thing is just the spelling of the main character's name, then it's not so bad. But that's why you need a second pair of eyes, because you are gonna make mistakes. It's impossible not to. So if you can have someone catch them for you, so much so the better. What happened to my music? That's weird. Pretty good. So what's your publishing schedule for your comic? So one chapter a week? Once a month? Several times a week? Every 2 weeks? Do you have a set day that you do it on, or is it just sometime every 2 weeks? Whenever you get it done, if you will. Sometimes. You know, you'll have to let me know how the 2 week schedule goes, because I've been publishing short chapters or short episodes, really every page of the comic. One page of the comic a week, and it's had a pretty good response, I think, so far. But I have had some feedback saying people wish my episodes were longer. And that's legit, but I wouldn't. If I made them longer, I wouldn't be able to do it weekly. So you'll have to let me know how going bi-weekly works for you. Maybe I'll switch to doing longer chapters bi-weekly. I keep saying chapters, but they're episodes. Oh yeah, 15 pages is real tough. Yeah, I mean a lot of the we'll call them pro webtoon artists, like they basically do like your standard like Shonen Jump schedule, and that's like 15 to 20 pages a week. That's insane. I mean, American comic book artists, they do 20 pages a month. I don't know how Eastern manga artists are expected, not only are expected to, but actually pull off so many pages a week. Yeah, I think Webtoons expects their people who do like drama Webtoons to have about 35-ish panels every week, and if you average, 4 panels a page, we'll say 5 to make the math easy. So that's like 7 pages a week. Like that's a lot to do. You have to produce 1 page a week. Or, I'm sorry, 1 page a day. Now, if that's your absolute job, like literally you have nothing else to do, like that's what's paying, every week. So that's not terribly unreasonable if that's your job. Like you wake up in the morning, you work 8 hours on your comics or more, 8 to 12 hours on your comics, and then you're done for the day. That's all your job is. That's not unreasonable. Producing, 7 pages a week. That's actually pretty reasonable. But most of us don't have this as our job, right? We either have day jobs or we have other jobs. I make comics, but I do illustration, I do graphic design, I teach. Like I don't have time just to spend only making comics. I wish I did. I wish that was my only job, but it's not. So that's really hard to do. You'll take that route anytime. Yeah, I'm with you. If I was able to pay the bills with only making comics, I would do that in a heartbeat. unfortunately, the reality is most of us can't. Even comic book artists I know that have done work for Marvel, DC, like they can't. They have other jobs, like they do photography or graphic design, um, just general freelance illustration work, teach. So there's very few people I know that can only gets to make comics for their living. Yeah, it's. But I'll tell you, even if your job is just drawing, what comics or otherwise, it's still a job. It's I feel like a lot of my students have this illusion in their head that if they can get a job drawing, it's going to be the greatest job ever. And in a lot of ways it is. But there's a lot of other stresses that go into having that as your career. And it's kind of takes away from the fun, if I'm going to be honest. I'd still rather be... there's still nothing I'd rather be doing, but it's not as glorious as it might seem on the outside. It's a lot harder. That's a lot more stress than you would think. You'd think, oh, I just get to sit in my office and draw all day. And you get to do that a lot, but man, there's other factors that bring down the mood, if you will. I guess the bottom line is, and I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer over here. Bottom line is, it's still a job. Jobs are jobs. Jobs stink. Even if you like your job, it still stinks. Oh, you think he looks like The Witcher? Oh, that's kind of funny. It's not my intention. I don't know if you're familiar with the podcast, The Adventure Zone, but this is Magnus Burnsides from The Adventure Zone. More specifically, the balance arc of The Adventure Zone. Should we save? Always save your work. Yeah, kind of. Technically, it's inspired by the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. Um, it's not. How do I describe it? It's not a remix. Uh, but a group of musicians kind of took the themes from Final Fantasy VII and kind of created their own songs, I guess. Own interpretations of the songs, I guess you can say. Oh yeah, I love it. It should be free to download. Let's see, what is it called? It's called Into the Livestream. You know, I don't draw hairy arms that often, but that's a nice, fun texture. Wolverine hairy arms, yeah. That's about the only time I do as well. I don't know if they've ever talked about if Magnus has hairy arms or not. But I've always thought of him as just the biggest lumberjack, burly dude. So I've always imagined him with big, burly hair arms. So I almost forgot that you guys were listening to the Final Fantasy music, because the music I'm listening to is different. His hands are a little too hairy. So how many of you guys watching listens to the Adventure Zone? Or have read the Adventure Zone comics? The second one just came out last week? 2 weeks ago? I forget. Let's draw Stephen the Goldfish here. Nope. We got one note. How about the rest of you guys watching? If you guys don't listen to the Adventure Zone, do any of you at least play Dungeons and Dragons? Another note. Alright, well then, guess it's just me today. I did a D&D, I think it was like my second or third stream. I did my D&D character, Takmar. That was a fun stream. Alright. This is actually coming along quite well, I think. It's getting that grit I'm really looking for, so I think it's perfect. let's see, what else? What else can we talk about? Fire Emblem's coming out, or did it come out already? Does it come out tomorrow? Anyway, Fire Emblem. Anyone excited about that? Anyone gonna get that game? Play it? Like it? Enjoy it? I'm expecting a big fat note there too. There it is, another note. Yes. This was, let's see. Still trying to find things to talk about here. Does anyone out there play Overwatch? Anyone participating in like the summer event that's going on right now? I'll tell you guys a story. So yesterday I'm playing I'm playing Mystery Heroes because I need nope ×2. So I'm playing Mystery Heroes, and we gotta stop the payload from moving. You try to play? Yeah, Sideways, you gotta get on so we can play together sometime. Anyway, so I was playing Mystery Heroes, so we got we had to stop the payload. It got to less than 30 seconds left, and I die. I come back. I respawn as Ash. We're doing okay, and they do this final big push to try to get the payload to move so they can win. And all our team is there, and I can't see at all. I can't, because there's like an Orisa and like a Reinhardt. There's just these big characters. I can't see past them. So I just shoot blindly through my teammates into what I'm assuming is the opposing team. Just wildly firing. I just empty all 12 shots I have, and I get a triple kill. And it ends up being the play of the game. It's very rare for me to get play of the game. First of all, get play of the game, but also getting a triple kill. And it was just purely accidental. I couldn't even see where I was shooting. I was just firing wildly past my teammates, hoping that it hit someone, and it did. Got 3 kills. I had to tweet about it because I was so shocked that it actually happened. Look how this is looking. What are your guys' opinions? Awesome. Yeah, it's... Oh, man. Now, I wasn't sure that I actually... At the time, I wasn't sure I got a triple kill, because sometimes Overwatch tells you that you eliminated a character, and you didn't actually get the killing blow, but you got some hits in. And so it tells you that, character, the player you're fighting against has been eliminated. Doesn't necessarily tell you were the one that eliminated them. So when it showed up on my screen that like 3 characters were eliminated, I didn't think I got the killing blow in there, especially since I couldn't see what was going on. Yeah, then I got play of the game, so clearly I was the killing blow. Yeah, triple kill. It was crazy. Maybe I'll do that on a stream sometime in the future. Actually, speaking of that, that's the whole point of this bar up here. Where is it? Up in this area? Yeah. If I can get 15 subscribers, we'll do a celebratory video game stream. I think that would be a lot of fun. So if that's something you think would be fun too, why not subscribe? And if you're new here anyway, if you've been enjoying my art, why not just give it a follow? It's free and it's fun. And this is kind of shamelessly self-promote. I got a Patreon. That's actually what this is for. This is a reward for my patrons. They're going to get a high-res download of this art once it's done. Oh, 10 bits. Thank you, Random Art Dude. I appreciate it. Oh, it does look like I did get a new follower. Amalashan. Amwashan. I'm saying that terribly, and I'm sorry that I am. If I'm horribly butchering it, please correct me in the chat. But yeah, I appreciate the bits. That knocked down the HP of the stream boss a little bit. Yeah, stream boss is down to 690. So for those of you guys who don't know what the stream boss is, the stream boss loses HP whenever you donate, subscribe, donate bits, follow, and if you get the knockout blow, you become the new boss. And if you are the boss, you can heal by doing the same thing. So if you donate bits and you are the boss, you heal your HP, which I think is a pretty cool thing. It's an awesome emoji, I love it. Let's see. Another bonus, if we get the 15 subscribers, not only will I do a video game stream, but also I'll be able to add another emoji. So right now, the emojis that we have available is we can do the wolf one here in the chat. And then we also got the death emote. And I haven't created a tier 3 one yet. Just kind of waiting to see if I even have any tier 3 subscribers before I even made one. But if I can get 15 subscribers, I can add another emote for everyone. What else to talk about? Well, I guess speaking of D&D inspired things, I've been playing Dragon's Crown, specifically the Dragon Crown Pro for the PlayStation 4. That game is awesome. Been playing as the sorceress, but I've never been much of a magic user whenever I play D&D or any real fantasy game. I'm always like a fighter or knight or paladin. So being a straight up magic user is like a little outside my, I guess, comfort zone. I'm gonna finish Steven the Goldfish here, and then I'm gonna work on drawing all these robot arms. It looks funny without his other arm drawn, but he can wait. Let's draw these robot arms. You randomly cast Fireball and kill everybody. That's funny. You know, I'm not great with the way D&D works. I feel like you're so limited in your resources with Magic. Like let's say you're playing Final Fantasy, right? You have limited MP in classic Final Fantasy. I know different games are different, but you have your MP, which limits how much magic you can use, but you can always take like an elixir or something to get your magic back up. So sure, you have to manage your resources, but you know, you can always stock up to kind of help with that, you know? But in D&D, as far as I know, the only way you can get your spell slots left is with a long rest. I know some races, that's a little bit different. Like, I think certain classes or certain races, they can get a spell slot back after a short rest. But still, there's like nothing you can take. There's no like elixir that magically brings back spell slots. And that's a problem. Because when I play the Paladin, sure, I have limited spell slots, but if I run out of spell slots, I can still hit things really, really hard with my sword. So it's not like a big issue. But if I was a wizard, and like, what am I gonna do once I run out of spell slots? My strength is like 5. I'm not gonna hit with my sword's gonna do like nothing. Now I do know magic users get way more spell slots than, say, paladins. Like at level 9, I think my paladin has 4 level 1 spell slots, 3 level 2, and 1 level 3. And I think if I was just a straight up wizard, all those would be doubled. But still, in a fight, those spell slots go fast. playing Dragon's Crown, at least you can recharge your mana, but that's still kind of a pain. You're in the middle of a fight, you run out of mana, you have to run to the other side of the screen and stand there for like a good 10 seconds waiting for your mana to recharge. Meanwhile, your team is dying. It's tough. I guess you have to have some kind of offset. Otherwise, magic users would be too overpowered. I think good boy Magnus is looking pretty good over here. Now I need some more music. So Sideways, of all the different classes you've played, which one's your favorite? Oh, repeat. Oh, sorry. Of all the classes that you've played, what classes is your favorite? I mean, I guess if it's too hard to pick just one, like, give me like a ranking. Because while I wait for you to type in yours, I'll tell you mine. I have a toss-up between being a barbarian and a paladin. I like hitting things really hard with the barbarian, but I like how the paladin's able to also protect. Like we were playing in that haunted house and there were all those traps. So the paladin's ability lets you add the +4 to all your saving throws. Like, I really like that. Then again, hitting things really, really hard, the barbarian is great. Yeah, you need to bring back Alan the Paladin. Even if we don't do that campaign again, I think he needs to make a comeback in another campaign. If we do go back to that campaign where Alan is in there think I'm gonna change my character up. I'm not a fan of my elf rogue that I created. Alright, so here's a question for the chat. What is your favorite fantasy-based video game? It could be... And I'll use fantasy pretty loosely. Like, if you can use Final Fantasy... Like, Final Fantasy VII isn't straight-up fantasy. But if you wanted to say Final Fantasy VII, I'd count it. But, like, Dragon's Crown, or, like, Dragon Quest... Or, oh, what's that old D&D one? Baldur's Gate. I never played a D&D video game. I don't know if any of you have. If you have, let me know how it is. I feel like D&D is not easily translatable to a video game. And I know people might argue, well, you know, JRPGs is basically just D&D translated into a video game, but it's still not quite the same. What makes D&D so much fun is the role-playing aspect. Playing the characters with your friends. You don't really get to do that in a video game. Plus, a video game, you're restricted by the programming. D&D, you're limited by your imagination. So I feel like they don't translate as well. So yeah, that's my question. What's your favorite fantasy video game? Yeah, I heard they were releasing Baldur's Gate 2. I'm not quite sure. What did you hear? Because I wasn't sure if they were just gonna kind of release a remastered version of it, kind of like what they did with the new Castlevania. Like they didn't really do anything different. They just kind of remastered it for new systems and then put it out there. Or are they kind of like totally remaking the game? Okay. Because if it's kind of like just a remastered and it's an affordable price point, you might want to give it a try. Half the robot arm's done. What do you guys think so far? Skybound Entertainment. How do I know that name? It's not the same Skybound like the comics, is it? Really? When did Skybound get into video games? I mean, I guess Kirkman's branching out. You know, Walking Dead TV series and stuff. I guess I should have known the last Walking Dead game. Boy, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, was the game good? I didn't even know there was one. Well, that's not completely true. I know there was what's the company that just went under not too long ago? Telltale, that's it. I know there was a Telltale game. Is that the same one? I just remember at the time there were two Walking Dead games that came out. There was the Telltale one that was really good, and then there was the other one that was very bad. Or at least so I've been told. I have not played them. It's good so far? Okay. Shows what I know. I don't mind being wrong. Sideways, did you ever read the Walking Dead comics? I'm not a big horror fan, so I never really got into that. Or I guess anyone. If any of you guys read Walking Dead. Yeah, I'm a big wuss, so I don't like horror. Which actually makes me very torn on the announced Doctor Strange movie, because I want to see a crazy multiverse movie, but they're also saying it's going to be just a straight up horror film, and I don't know if I want to deal with that. I'm sure it's going to be good, but again, I'm a wuss. Alright, one more robot. Hang on. You can call this a robot hand. It's more like a claw. I think this is definitely looking very good as line art. I think color will ruin this. So I'm definitely not going... Well, I'm probably going to add a color to it, but I'm not going to just like fully render out the color here. That's also another bridge to cross when you get to it. I still got to ink half of him here. I think it's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? if you guys are wondering why there's all the robot arms, Magnus here, he has kind of a habit of ripping the arms off of robots and just keeping them. So I figure when I drew him, he needed to have all these robot arms that he's been collecting over his adventures. Let's get his hand, arm done here. When I get to his axe, I'm going to cheat a little bit. It's getting a little bit better. From what I'm told, and again, don't know because I'll never read it because I'm a coward. The comics are way, way better than the TV show. Yeah, they're definitely a different animal. I know they go completely in a different direction. Well, I shouldn't say completely, but they diverge pretty quickly from the comics, the TV show that is. What do you think about Kirkman just so suddenly ending the Walking Dead comic. Let's see. I'm afraid he's not done. He'll be back to it. Gotta get those Kirkman dollars. Yeah. You already teased something about Negan. Like comic-wise or like in another medium? Comic-wise, okay. Is Negan even that or I know he's a popular character. Is he even that interesting of a character? I don't know, maybe from everything I've seen, he just seems like his characteristic is psychopath. I don't know if that's enough to carry a show or a comic. Alright, so I'm gonna cheat a little here. I am going to... I'm going to set up a symmetrical ruler here. I'm going to... Oh, you know for sure he has a potty mouth. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if so many people like him, there's probably more to it than what I know of. But I don't know. My response, or my initial idea was just that he's just a crazy authoritarian that just abuses and terrorizes his people, and I don't think I would want to watch a show about that. I mean, maybe it will have some legs since so many people like him. Symmetrical ruler here. Time's flying. I didn't realize I've been doing this for 2 hours already. How are all you guys doing? Starting to get into Friday night proper. So, all you guys' plans just to hang out with me tonight? So, so I'm listening to baby metal right now. It's the music I'm listening to, and I love this band, but I've not heard this song before. Uki Uki Midnight. I did not expect a dubstep breakdown in the middle of it. So we're getting close to done with Magnus here. Once I finish his axe, just gotta draw his legs. And his legs aren't terribly detailed, so I might be done with him in about a half hour here. If I can finish the line art in about 30 minutes, then we will start doing some color. And like I said, we're not gonna fully color him. It's not gonna be like my other illustrations, where he's fully, where they're just full range of color. I want it to look fantasy-esque, so I'll probably give it like a little tone and texture, like a piece of parchment, and then maybe some washes of color after that. And I guess I haven't really made this clear in this stream. Any of you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, why, how? Feel free to put it in the chat. I love talking about drawing and art process and all that stuff. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? Talked about Overwatch, Dragon's Crown, D&D. Let's see. See, I'm a really boring guy. All I do is draw. The video games I do play are far and few between. Rushes on here. A little bit about comics. How about manga? Let's talk about manga. What manga are you guys reading? I'm not caught up yet. I'm on chapter 111 of Promised Neverland. And that is a good manga. The first part of it is definitely like a psychological thriller. Really where the protagonists try to outwit the bad guys. And you're always so scared they're going to get found out. It's a lot of fun. And then, are you reading My Hero Academia? Oh, I'm glad you missed your last chat. I'm glad you like how this is turning out. I still actually got to finish the black and white version of Yuki. Probably get to that relatively soon. But yeah, so you're reading My Hero Academia, or are you just watching it? I started reading the My Hero Academia manga, and it's also very good. The art is fantastic. The only reason I stopped wasn't because it was bad or not worth reading, but I stopped because I didn't want to spoil myself for the anime. And I know that's weird because I'm reading ahead in Promised Neverland, but for once, the English voice acting is so good in My Hero Academia that I feel like I cannot read it with as much emotional power as the voice actors perform it, and so I feel like I almost ruin it by reading the manga instead of watching the anime. But that's my personal opinion, of course. Game of Thrones to read. That's what I assume what you mean by GOT is Game of Thrones. Lily and I actually just finished watching Game of Thrones. We finally finished the final season, final episode. And now I get why everyone was so upset. They totally failed Chekhov's gun. And it doesn't make any sense. And for those of you guys watching who don't know what Chekhov's gun is, Chekhov's gun is a literary principle where if some element is introduced to the story, it needs to pay off, or else it shouldn't be in the story. So the example always used is if you see a gun, if the show or movie or play or book shows you, it makes a point to show you a gun sitting on the wall in the first act, that gun has to be fired by the final act. And if it's not, you shouldn't waste time showing the gun. You should just cut that out. And so Game of Thrones fails at that so bad because they introduce all these elements and they don't do anything with them. It's a total waste. Chief among them was the reveal of who Jon Snow is. They introduce that, it's a big deal, and then they don't do anything with it. And it's a total waste. Like they might as well have not done that. It didn't do anything. Could have just stayed who we always thought he was, and it wouldn't change a single element of the story, a single thing that happened in the story. Nothing would have changed. Anyway, that's why I found it so frustrating. It's not that the actual, anything specifically that happened bothered me. Although some of it was just dumb. It just nothing paid off. They introduced 1,000 different elements. Why? All the White Walkers, man, they loved those geometric patterns. We saw they would take special care into either arranging themselves or dead bodies in these crazy geometric patterns. Never came into play. Waste of our time. Pretty good looking, I think.
私たちはまた彼らから自由を奪おうというのか。
It's getting dark in here. Sun's starting to go down. I'm out of water, too. Ooh. All right. So how are we all doing? All right. So a common mistake a lot of people make, I say a lot of people, it's really young artists, up-and-coming artists, and they're inking their work. You gotta make sure if you're going to do cross-hatching, make sure it follows the direction of the figure or of the form. You don't want to just like randomly hatch in any old direction. You want to make sure it follows the direction, the form of whatever you're cross-hatching. Otherwise, it's going to flatten out the piece and definitely work against you. So I'm going to do a shameless plug here since I've been at this for a couple hours. If you've been enjoying my work, enjoying this stream, why not give it a follow? We'll do, I think 500? No. 250? I think you'll do 250 damage to the boss if you follow. And then I think you do 500 damage if you subscribe. And then you do 1 HP of damage for every bit you donate. So 10 bits will do 10 damage. 100 bits will do 100 points of damage. So why not do that? No, I was thinking about whenever I have to like shamelessly plug myself, because let's be fair, no one else is gonna do it for me. Getting one of those like sales, like get an overlay over my screen, kind of make it look like an infomercial, like sell now or subscribe now and you'll get these great hits. That way, at least if you have to listen to me shamelessly self-promote myself, it could at least be entertaining. Well, it looks like I'm almost on schedule. So it'd take about a half hour to do the lower half, and it's almost been a half hour. I'm almost done with the lower half here. Oh, you love the details in the pants. Good. I'm glad. I always feel like pants are like the most boring things to draw. So I'm always looking for ways to liven it up a bit. I think once I finish the line art, I'll probably add in some textures with my fun thumbprint brush. Can you tell I want to be Sean Gordon Murphy? Anyway, probably do that, and then we'll see how I feel, because it's been a couple hours. I'm not 100% sure if I want to keep streaming, if I want to take a break. Almost there. another show I finished recently, and this is an older one. I never watched the whole thing through. I've always seen parts of it. But I've never watched it all from beginning to end, and that's Neon Genesis Evangelion. Boy, that show has a weird ending. Have any of you guys ever watched it all the way through? I know Sideways, you're in the middle of it. Alright, I think that's the Lionheart. Alright. What do you guys think? Am I forgetting anything here? Let's switch this. doing. I'm going to add this text in, but I'm going to do this later in Adobe Illustrator, so I can have a really nice text that follows this circle perfectly. So that's a later thing. So I think. So I think this line art's done. So let's add in a little bit of color, color-ish. So I want it to have this parchment feeling. So what I'm going to do is on top of this layer, I'm going to paint bucket this kind of yellowish, brownish tone. Lower the opacity here. I might change the color mode. Disappear. Multiply might be what I want to do. Alright, so now what we're going to do, switch to my watercolor brush. Actually, no. Well, maybe. Hold on. First, what we're going to do is we're going to use my charcoal brush here. I'm going to hit the edges. Like I was saying earlier, we want to make it look like old parchment. So we want to kind of give it a texture, make it look a little old, a little worn. Definitely around the edges. I'm going to make it a little bit brighter in the center. Too much. Let's see. I lost my music again. What should I listen to, guys? Alright, so what I'm going to do here is change the line art color a little. So what we're going to do is make this a reference layer. We want it darker than the darkest part of this paper, so it's pretty good. I feel like it's not quite dark enough though. Good too. Still worried that this is too strong. All right. So I've been at this for about 2 3/4 hours here, almost 3 hours. I think I need to take a little bit of a break. So I think we're gonna call this done for today. My next stream is going to be tomorrow. I'm gonna let you guys decide what I work on. I might finish this tomorrow. I might, I have an Evangelion piece I started that we might work on that. We might work on a commission, I guess. We can do a commission. We can work on any of my other silly drawings I've been doing. Like here I did, I don't know if you guys know the bubble tea challenge. I've been working on this piece here with my characters because I think it's hilarious. But I'll let you guys tomorrow decide. The stream tomorrow is probably going to be around 12:30ish, around 12:31. So yeah, we'll reconvene tomorrow afternoon where we'll do more drawing. I want to really sincerely thank all of you guys for joining me, hanging out with me tonight. We'll have to do it again sometime soon. Do some more Friday night drawing. Yeah. If you enjoyed it, follow. Do the things. Follow, subscribe, become a patron so I can do more art, other stuff. It's all down below. You click on the links. You can. Your great stream? ? I don't know. Was it a great stream? But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for coming, hanging out. We'll hang out tomorrow in the afternoon, and yeah, it'll be fun. So I'm really bad at ending these things. So actually, you know what? Let's see. I think this will be a good way to end it. I'm not sure if I follow anyone who is... we don't want to raid Bob Ross or Riff Tracks. Let's see. I don't know. Are there any suggestions in the from the chat there? Anyone we should raid? Yes, I don't know. You know, unless anyone gives me a suggestion, I don't know. People I normally follow aren't online, so I can't go raid them. And it's pointless to raid Bob Ross. So, you know what? I guess we'll just end it. Well, one of these days we're gonna do a fun raid. So, anyway, I'm tired of rambling. We're gonna call this done. Let's switch over here to my thank you screen because I do need to thank my patrons. And actually, I've gotten a couple new patrons. I gotta update this. I'll update it for tomorrow. But big thanks to Angers McBeard, Anthony Dosimo, Brian Gilbert, Brooke Clayton, Charles Pinn, Dev Duck, Elizabeth, Lawrence Winston, Lily Avonley, Red Blaze, Matt Powell, MC McClure, Quixix, Seth Talley, Shadow Macer, Taylor Winesty, or Honesty. Oh man, I need to. I'm so sorry I butchered your guys' names. Tony Timonen, Zerial Chickadee, and Doug Hogan. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate your support. If you want to get the artwork I've worked on today, plus other really cool stuff, you should consider being a patron. And now I'm seriously done shilling, and I'm going to call it a day. Thanks, guys. You're the best.